Wouldn't it be great if the life of faith were always easy? But, as most of us know, it's not. The question is, what do we do about it? Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas. And this is your daily devotional for Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. I know there are people who truly believe in their heart of hearts that Christian faith should always be easy, that believers should never experience difficulties, especially in their lives of faith. And when difficulties do arise, they are quick to abandon their faith. In today's reading, we find Moses at wit's end, both with the people and with God. The story takes place when the people are in the wilderness after the Exodus and after the giving of the Ten Commandments. You'll recall that after they had escaped Egypt, the children of Israel kept finding things to complain about. First, they thought they would die of thirst in the desert when they came to a place where the water was bitter. They complained to Moses, and God provided fresh, sweet water to drink. Next, they wondered whether they would starve in the desert. If only we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, they moaned, when we sat by the flesh pots and ate our fill of bread, for you have brought us out into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. In response, God sent manna for them to eat. Then they were afraid they would die of thirst again in the desert. In response, God had Moses strike a rock, and water flowed out of the rock. And now they complain about their monotonous diet of manna. They complained that we remember the fish we used to eat in Egypt for nothing, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic, but now our strength is dried up, and there is nothing at all but this manna to look at. Then they cry out for meat to eat. Lord, you think they were Southerners by how they talk about how good the old days were. Better in Egypt? Really? Yes, the food was free. They were slaves. Well, Moses now becomes exasperated. Reading between the lines, Moses looks like someone about to fall into clinical depression. He is absolutely at the end of his rope. Moses says to God, "Why have you treated your servant so badly? Why have I not found favor in your sight that you lay the burden of all this people on me? Did I give birth to them that you should say to me, carry them in your bosom as a nurse carries a suckling child to the land that you promised on oath to their ancestors? Where am I going to get meat to give all this people? For they come weeping to me and say, 'Give us meat to eat.' I am not able to carry this people alone, for they are too heavy for me. If this is the way you are going to treat me, put me to death at once, if I have found favor in your sight, and do not let me see my misery." Mercy. My first reaction is to say, how dare Moses complain so to God? Does he have any idea who he's talking to? What a presumptuous and impertinent thing to do. In our day and time, we would say to Moses, "Suck it up, Buttercup. Get up and pull up your big boy pants. Man up." Because if there's anything we despise, it's a whiner. But on second thought, maybe Moses has a point. If a relationship with God means anything, surely it can stand brutal honesty. I am quite certain God is big enough and strong enough to hear our cries to God for help. Look, I've spent a lifetime trying to convince people that asking for help in life is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. We human beings are not built to withstand infinite burdens. When the burdens are especially tough, all the more reason to turn to God, all the more reason to seek God's help. Maybe we don't have to be quite as overwrought as Moses, but Moses is not fundamentally wrong to cry out. Yes, perhaps his complaint seeks to lay the blame on God, But Moses clearly understands that he is serving at God's behest in this whole chosen people Exodus enterprise. Is the going ever that rough for you? Do you have someone to cry out to for help? You bet you do. The name is God, because God is big enough to take on whatever burdens we lay before him. Now may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.